Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today's video has been asked for countless times. It is my entire Facebook scaling strategy, literally been given to you, that I have used to generate over $1 million in 2 months. Guys, if you're new to the channel, how are you guys going? My name is Tremaine Turner. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and welcome to my channel.
Don't give it to me easy, I like a little challenge. When it feels better when you take a little damage. Slow learning, fast earning, stay burning. Wheels turning, it's a going thing.
Alright guys, I'll now be covering every single thing in which I implemented over the last 4 months in regards to Facebook ads and whatever other ads I used and implemented in order to make the money I did. Especially let's look at the 2 months, May 9th to July 9th, $1,116,820.90. What product I use, the Facebook scaling method, the testing method, and even my sort of retargeting method as well. Let's begin with the product. Now the product I used was a gadget product, and the product that I used was a sort of product that it wasn't a passion product, but it was a product in which brought a lot of value to the consumer. And so I see a lot of guys just put any sort of products on their store. You gotta understand, you as a consumer, put yourself in their shoes. Would you just be scrolling on Facebook, a platform where you're not really there to purchase anything, you're there to more spy on your friends or update a status or just check something out, and you're gonna stop someone from what they're doing, make them go to your website and then purchase a product? It really has to stand out in order to really grab their attention, in order for them to actually put in their credit card details and purchase your product. So the products I used, I actually have about 3 to 4 dropshipping stores, and I tested this product or a product like it on a previous store of mine. Now this store, I had a lot of influencers with that store in sort of partnership, and each influencer on Instagram have about 200,000 followers, and I got them to use this product and also to put it on their Instagram story with a swipe up link, and I found a few sales coming through. And this is back then, probably around April this year, when I had absolutely zero success in dropshipping. I had not even made $50 in one day. So I saw a few sales come through. I'm thinking, man, this could have a lot of potential, especially the niche I was in. I could see it growing and scaling, and I never saw many competitors as well. So I then created a niche store, and it was a niche store around this particular gadget. It had many different variants, and I was able to obviously go wide in regards to uploading different types of products in that niche. It wasn't specific to any particular gender or any particular type of person. It was very, very broad. It could appeal to anyone, and that was very, very effective in how much it scaled to. I ended up scaling this product to almost 7 figures over the duration. So this product in particular, and the products that were like this, were very easily scaled to high numbers because the store in itself was sort of focused around that. Now, as we dive into the Facebook testing method in which I used, to begin with, I see a lot of guys preach content views, sort of add to cart, and other sort of objectives which I don't see as being very sort of profitable. Always use website conversions as your primary objective, with purchase as well. Even though if you have a brand new store with no previous data, still have purchase as the objective. What you want Facebook to do is you want them to find you guys buyers. You don't want them to find you guys who are just adding to cart or just there to view the content. You want people to purchase your product. So therefore, make sure that your purchase objective is switched on. The ads that I used were always video ads. I have never really ever used any sort of image ad. I have tried it, and again, like as everyone says, you may have heard, it's of no use. Facebook prefers videos. It's a platform now which, if you are scrolling on Facebook, about 70% of the things you see on Facebook are videos now. It's competing against platforms such as YouTube. It wants to keep the consumer on their platform as long as possible. And they can't do that with a photo. They're really pushing videos. I had quite a decent sized audience. I combined about 3 interests to create 20 million in audience size. So it's quite a large audience. I was able to test and really get deep into it. Again, it was both men and women. So it wasn't gender specific, which was really, really good. Because I was able to, again, in further, actually break that down and segment them both into different categories. In regards to placement of the ad, I always suggest you guys, there's a little, obviously a box there where you can actually edit the placement. Make sure, this is my method, and obviously many other gurus may think otherwise. But what I like to do is, I like to use Facebook feed and also Instagram feed. I'll then therefore uncheck everything else and just leave those 2 particular placements. Facebook feed and also Instagram feed. Always test worldwide to begin with. A lot of people messaging me via DM and they're saying, man, should I just target America first? And you gotta understand, that's what everyone's doing. That's the route everyone's taking. So your sort of cost per click is gonna be through the roof. So what I would suggest doing is definitely test worldwide. So as your location, just type in worldwide. And what you want to do is, under that is basically exclude certain countries that have bad traffic, such as India, Indonesia, and many others. If you guys want the full list that I use for bad traffic countries in order to exclude those countries to give you the best possible sort of click-through rates, inbox me or actually DM me on my Instagram. I'll leave the link to my Instagram down below. DM me, I'll be happy to just shoot you guys the list of countries that I exclude, because it's quite a long list, and those are the countries that are obviously sort of bad traffic countries, or even countries that they even provide, or they're more renowned for sort of high risk orders, and you want to obviously exclude those countries. When I start seeing that the ads are working well with worldwide targeting, I'll then the next day duplicate that same ad to also the top 4 countries. Top 4 countries include Canada, Australia, the UK, and the US. Target those 4 countries as well as worldwide in 2 different ad sets, and that's where you get the most amount of content and value. The next thing I find, it's very, very important, and it's a common thing I see most people, because again, I didn't start this journey with a lot of money. I started with barely $500 to 1,000 Australian dollars. And I say here, they created multiple video creatives, and I split tested a lot of different objectives, different interests, different videos, different thumbnails, different ad descriptions. I probably tested this particular sort of ad 20, 30, 40, 50 times in regards to split testing every single thing. Single interest, some ads had sort of interest bunched up. I tried everything possible in order to make sure I had covered everything, because I knew at the end of the day, this obviously would go viral, in which it did, had millions and millions of views, and other competitors would be coming in. So I wanted to sort of infiltrate the market and just sort of cover every possible outcome I could. Going forward, in regard to the Facebook scaling method. So once you have a winner, guys, it's the thing I see guys give up in the start off phase, which is finding your winner. That probably is the hardest part and the most sort of, it's a part where everyone wants to give up because they haven't found a winner. They're like, man, dropshipping is not working. But guys, again, trust me, once you find a winner, it's a lot easier. Don't get me wrong, Facebook scaling is another sort of, art in itself. But once you get past finding a winner, it's a lot easier to do so as opposed to finding a winner. And again, once you find a winner, you'll sort of see the traits of what a winner is, and you're able to generate more and more winners in the future. But let's get to it. So Facebook scaling, what did I do? Now, on each and every ad, I start off with $5 ad sets. Now, this is $5 on each and every ad set, no matter what it is. I start off at $5. And what I do to increase the budget and scale it, I wait every 48 hours and I see the ROAS. Is the ROAS above 3? If the ROAS is above 3, you know, the return on ad spend, for those of you guys who are maybe new to this, return on ad spend is what the ROAS is. And you sort of check out that section and you want to make sure that's above 3. And so after 48 hours, I'll go from $5 and I'll increase the budget by double to $10. And again, every 48 hours, I'll check the ROAS for the previous 48 hours and I'll see if it's above 3. Again, increase it by double to 20. Then again, 48 hours to 40. Again, 48 hours to 80. Then 80 to 100. Now, this is a particular thing which worked for me. Again, it may not work for you. And every guru out there has different sort of methods. This is what works for me, and I've even tried it out with a few of my students, and it works for them as well. So give it a try. But once you get to $100 a day, you don't want to be increasing it anymore. You don't want to be basically going 120, 140, 160, 180. It's not going to really work that way. And Facebook, for me and my students, it hasn't really benefited them as well. Because I have tried it, and it never really worked out. But what I do is, so once you have that $100 ad set, it's doing really well, it's providing good ROAS of 3+, you want to keep that ad set. And what you then want to do is you want to duplicate that ad set for a bigger budget. So if you want to duplicate that $100 budget and the ad set to a $200 budget on a new ad set and let that run for 48 hours. If that's doing good, then again, do the same thing again. Duplicate that winning ad set of $200 to $400 on a new ad set. And so now you'll be having 3 different ad sets running to the exact same thing, but on 3 different budgets. And you'll do this even up to $800 an ad set. But see, once I get to about $800, what I'll then do is duplicate straight away, straight to manual bidding. Why I suggest once your winners, once your ad sets are providing huge ROASs of 3+, even on big budgets, on daily budgets of $800, $400, $600, guys, it's time to obviously duplicate that and start with manual bidding. Because that's when other competitors and other dropshippers are seeing this product do well, and the top guys they have countless sort of staff, spy tools, and many other ways out there in which they're sort of spying on your store, they're seeing what's selling, and they're on that straight away. So you've got to be quick. And what I do is, I then duplicate that to a manual bidding ad set. My budget is around $2,000 to $6,000 to begin with. Again, depending on your budget, even starting with $1,000 is good. Anything less than $1,000 I have found to not be so beneficial. I think and do believe manual bidding works best with bigger budgets of at least $1,000. So if you guys are starting off and got that much money and you're doing well, start off with $1,000. Again, I know guys out there that are doing budgets of like $20,000, $30,000 a day on one particular ad set. Now, with setting that max bid cap, some strategies that I use is I want to basically take the average cost per purchase of all those different ad sets for that same campaign and sort of get that average cost per purchase and set the bid cap on my manual bidding ad set to 3 times the cost per purchase of the average. For example, if my average cost per purchase for all those ad sets was $10, I would then set the max bid of my manual bidding ad set to $30. A massive sort of tactic that provides huge amounts of ROAS is lookalike audiences. Lookalike audiences. I use that straight away because that's with the best method moving forward in order to scale those particular ads. You want to use view content. You want to lookalike audience for add to cart, initiate checkout, purchase, 95% viewed of the video. Again, that's why I say use the video. You're able to therefore use that lookalike audience method for even the amount of viewers for that video. Again, what you want to do is recycle that manual bidding method on any of those particular lookalike audience ad sets. What I suggest is don't get too attached to any sort of ad set that's not performing well. I see a lot of guys out there who get too attached to a particular ad set that they believe will do well or believe will optimize over time, which is not doing well, and they're just letting it running and they're just burning cash. Guys, if it's not doing well over 48 hours, cut that straight away. Or if you really know your profit margins, let it run if you're still profitable, but if you're not profitable over 48 hours or 72 hours for that matter, cut it. Stop wasting time and stop burning cash. Now, again, when you're getting hundreds, 200, 300, 400 sales a day, what you want to be doing is sort of scaling to specific sort of points of interest. So for example, you want to scale to top performing countries, top performing ages and genders, and anything else you can really sort of break the ad set down with. So for example, most guys will then therefore just target, the US or the UK, Canada, or Australia. But what I would suggest doing is even going to your countries, the country section, opening that up, and even going through all those ad sets and seeing which other countries were the most beneficial for you. So for example, what I found was Germany was a great country that had probably the most amount of sales for my product. Crazy. It was almost thousands of sales from Germany alone. So therefore I was able to see that Germany was a great country, and I wouldn't have been able to find that if it wasn't for the fact that I had literally dug deeper and found out and gone through each and every country to sort of segment that into its own ad. Again, once you have thousands and hundreds of sales, what you then want to be doing is letting Facebook do the work. And what I mean by that is start off a new ad set or a duplication of that ad set and remove all the interests. Just let it run worldwide and without those or excluding those bad performing countries, and let Facebook pick the buyers. Let Facebook source out your buyers, because there's a lot of data on that pixel now. Facebook sort of knows the rough customer that you will obviously benefit from, and they'll start picking out customers from that large audience. Even another thing I use actually, which I haven't got here on this document, is this little checkbox. You can tick it or untick it in regarding to expand interest. Majority of the time I always leave that box unchecked, but in regarding to scaling forward and pushing more, I sometimes either check or uncheck that box. Just test everything. You don't lose anything. Test it on a $5, $10 budget and you should be sweet. At least you know that you've covered every possible outcome there is. Now, this is where you bank the most amount of cash. Retargeting. Do not miss out on this. Before I get into these particular points, I use an app. Now, by no means am I an affiliate with this app at all, but the app is called Recart. Recart basically sort of automates the whole process for you. They basically send out automated inboxes to your customers, which I find have a much higher click-through rate than an email. They inbox your customer saying, hey, we've seen that you've left this in your cart. Here's a 10% discount code, 20% discount code. Be sure to check out now. And I find that really works very well as opposed to emails. In regards to emails, they'll send out automated emails, one after 30 minutes, one after 60 minutes, one after 24 hours. And so that really sort of automates the whole process, and which I find a great app. Moving forward, in regard to Facebook ads, what you want to segment is custom audiences. Now, these custom audiences in your retargeting method are audiences, for example, who have viewed the content but not added to cart. You then want to segment another different audience, people who have added to cart but not purchased. Again, another audience, people who have initiated checkout but not purchased. And finally, you want to create another audience, everyone who's just purchased. Now, each of these different people you provide a different sort of retargeting ad to. And lastly, again, I differ from a lot of gurus in this particular point. It's where most gurus would say only retarget people who viewed the video 95% or 75%. But what I like to do is, again, cover every angle. Cover everything from 95%, 75%, 50%, 20%, or 25%. Cover everything you possibly can. And because what I found is sometimes the higher ones won't, create any sort of purchases, but even the lower views get the most purchases. So I wouldn't have known that if I didn't test everything. So I'm a huge advocate for test every single thing. Leave nothing on that table, because at the end of the day, you want to burn out this product. You don't want any other marketers coming in there and stealing what could potentially be your customers. So test everything. It's that simple. Lastly, dynamic ads. I won't go into this I won't get into this too much because it's quite an in-depth topic. I want to really sort of get into it in a new video. But basically, it's just sort of something you want to create which works exceptionally. It just takes your catalog from your store and which you upload onto Facebook, and which you can create sort of optimal ads from. I won't get into depth with that one. I'll save it for a new video because that's something I really want to go into depth with and really bring you a lot of value, because that will bring you a lot of money. And lastly, a custom audience. So this store which I created was obviously a niche store. I also have general stores, but a niche store was great in this particular ad targeting method. And what I mean by that was, I had gotten every single one who added to cart, viewed content, initiated checkout, purchased, and put into a massive audience on those particular products, because again, all my products in this store are quite similar. And so therefore, everyone who's doing any of those things have the same traits as the other customers. So when I test new products, I make sure I don't just start with worldwide. When you have enough data, what you want to be doing is testing brand new products with this audience, because this audience is the most primed to purchase. They've already given you traits that they are ready to purchase. So target those guys straight away before anything else. And with that, I've got purchases for literally 15 cents a purchase, multiple times starting off. You get the lowest cost per purchases from that as well. A company who I see doing this exceptionally well is Fashion Nova. Fashion Nova, basically, I don't know if you've heard of them before, but if you haven't, where have you been? Fashion Nova kill it with social media marketing on all platforms. They have a great amount of offers. They use the dynamic ads really, really well. And so for example, they'll have a huge sort of ad description where in the start, it'll be like, this offer is remaining for the last 60 minutes, or it's running for 60 minutes only, or this offer ends in 60 minutes, be quick, here's a 10% discount code, buy now. What you want to be doing is testing out different things. I start off with a 10% discount code for retargeting, because I find that 5% isn't really enough to sort of capture that particular customer. Put yourself in that customer's position. If you saw an ad on Facebook after you've abandoned a cart and it's for 5%, you're not really that compelled to go out and purchase that product. So therefore, start off at 10. If that's not working, use a 15% discount code. If that's not working, use a 20% discount code. Whatever it takes in regards to your profit margin to therefore attack that customer. Guys, that is a wrap. Thank you very much for staying till the end. It was quite a long video, but that is everything you guys need to know about Facebook ads as of now. Now, if you have any other further questions, be sure to just shoot me a DM. My link is just here. I'm very active on Instagram, so I'll be sure to reply to you. Apart from all this, I'm super proud to announce I've just released a private mastermind group. It's full of like-minded people just like yourself, everyone who's interested in e-commerce, dropshipping, personal development, Facebook ads, anything you can think of. It's full of my students. Everyone's there to help each other out. Everyone's there to help each other become the best possible versions of themselves. Now, apart from all this, guys, again, be sure to like this video and comment down below on what you want to see in future upcoming videos. Be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell. Stay up to date. We're dropping weekly heat, 2 videos every single week on dropshipping, Facebook, Instagram, and personal development. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you soon.
I can do this all day, I can do this all night. All night.